Hi everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. So it's Tuesday, which means it's Tuesday 10, where I take 10 things out of this big bin of papers and such that I keep behind my desk, and we keep making until we pretty much use it up. So today's going to be a mix of things. It's going to be a half and half because I need to both use up fabric and I need to use up paper. So we're going to do 5 of each. So I'll start with the papers that I've chosen. So first, this is a jelly print on music paper from like an 1800s book that I've had forever. I think this was like some of the first jelly printing I ever did. This is an old book page from a vintage Reader's Digest. This is a printout, and actually I've got 2 pages here. I'm not going to use both of them. I'm only going to use one. And I forget where this digital came from, but I know it's William Morris. This is an old book page from like an old movie star kind of book. This is a page of random like scrapbooking type stickers that I just want to use this up because it's been hanging around. Then in the fabric stuff, I have this lacy little doll shirt. This is another little doll shirt made of pink linen. This is a dress that used to belong to my daughter, and it's been half cut up, but there's still some of it left. 1, 2, 3. And then this is like a big piece of, I forget what this is called. It's a silk noil, it's got, you can see all these noils in this very fine weaving. So that's what I would like to try to use up today. Yeah, I think that's all of it. Okay, so where do we begin? So I brought a few helpers. I was playing with a bit of a design this morning that I've had hanging around, and I printed these little ladies out here. We have these 3, and then I have these 4 that are like panels, little panels, and so they may be my helpers today in creating the things that I'm creating. So all of that being said, where do I begin? I'm going to start with the hard thing, which is going to be this great big piece of silk noil. So I will set all the rest of this aside, and I'm trying to think about like how much time I'm taking here to do this. So first things first, I need a surface to put this on, and I think I'm going to choose a paper bag, maybe. A nice big piece of paper bag. I want to get the stuff off that's not straight. Okay. So we're having some crazy weather here today. We're having like an Environment Canada warning today because it is so hot out. Yesterday it was so nice and cool out. I mean, it's just all over the place. Okay, so then what if I lay this on top of here? Okay. And then what I want to do is actually just take it over to the sewing machine, I think, and sew it. But I think first I'll do a cursory layer of just glue stick, because that will keep it in place as I'm trying to stitch. So yeah, I have had a decent day today. We have a long weekend here. It's Labor Day in Canada. And so it's been nice so far. I went to a local fair in Paris, Ontario, and I had a really nice time with my kiddos, and my daughter's finally big enough to ride some of the rides, so she really enjoyed that, and I got to go on the tilt-a-whirl with her, and that was a lot of fun. And I had a caramel apple. My kids had all the treats, all of them. Oh my goodness. So lots of farm animals and lots of great local like art and veggies and things that get entered in the fair. That tends to kind of be my favorite part, is seeing all of the kids' art, like where they make like vegetable sculptures and things. I absolutely love that. Okay, so this is all covered now. So I'm going to go stitch around this whole sheet, and then we're going to play with it a little bit. So now I'm going to cut off the excess fabric that goes around the paper. We got this all stitched. And I'll put the excess just in my little scraps of fabric. This I think would make nice like tabs, this strip here. So maybe I'll keep it around for just that use today. So I took my daughter to her last skating class at this level that she's at, and she did really well. Teacher told me I could choose to repeat this same level again or move her up. She said that like she has the skills to go ahead and go up, but she said that typically kids her age will do like level 2 twice because it's really foundational, and there were like a couple of things that she could improve on. So I decided that yeah, we'll repeat this level, because I'm always a fan of, like, with little kids especially, like, let them start with less to worry about, you know, like, so that they're not at the bottom of the class, that they're at the top. I think it's a little bit more of a successful way to go about things. So what I want to do here is use a couple paints. So I've got this Sea Mist Pearl paint from Craft Smart. I don't even know where this came from. I think it's thrifted probably. And then this is a metallic paint, Modern Masters. I also am not exactly sure. I think this might have actually come from somewhere like Home Depot or something, because like it might be a little sample paint. It's a really pretty satin finish metallic paint, and it's pink rose quartz. So yeah, so I just want to put the rose quartz on first because I'm mostly just interested in how it's going to look on here. I like the texture of this fabric. It's almost like a light canvas kind of, and it's just hovering over this packaging paper. So this is kind of, you know, a nice mixed media type thing to do. I'm just going to start out by doing this, and then we'll set it aside to dry for the majority of the video and come back to it probably at the end. So why don't I go ahead and apply all this paint and then come back to you so you don't have to watch the whole thing. I'll come back. So this has been painted, and I kind of did like an ombre with it. So I used this up top, and then I added this toward the bottom, and kind of then added a bit of blue up here and a bit of pink down there, and just kind of like made it sort of like a beautiful, you know, sky, sort of a end of the day sky. So I'm going to set this aside now so that it can dry, and I'm already kind of looking at how it would go with something like this as a collage background. I think it would be quite nice. So let's set this aside and move on to a new piece. Okay, so here are the remains of what we have. So I think what I'll do here first is to move this in. Okay, I'm going to start with fabric. So I have this little cute little cotton doll shirt, and I need like a base, so I'm going to use some of this, maybe cardstock paper, or some of this foolscap. I have so much of this, but I'll fold it in half maybe. And I think what I'm going to do is just cut it down to a shape that I can use on paper and see what we can make here. So for those of you who follow me on my thrift haul videos, you may remember, where did it go? Oh, here it is, hold on. So a while ago I did a thrift haul, and I told you about this basket. It has all of these like pink and white and lace and such fabrics and stuff. So I am working on a project right now where I'm using some of that stuff, but I also thought it would be good to like work on a project here that would use more of it. So like we're trying to kind of use that basket up a little bit. I'm a big fan of trying to use my thrifted goods. So I've gotten it considerably down, and I also pulled some fabric out of it that's really beautiful that I want to make my daughter a dress out of. I also made a snippet roll this morning that's quite pretty and has a real shabby feel to it. It's very fun. So I could even use some of that if I wanted to. So let's lay this here. We'll just try to create kind of like a foundation of fabric piece. Excuse me. I knew there was a sneeze in there. I wasn't sure if it was coming. Okay. So there's that. Then I like the back side of these snaps too. That could be kind of cool. And if I left enough on there, how wide would that be? Probably would be cool. Let's see. Okay, that's no good to me. Another kind of squarish piece. I'm wondering if I shouldn't try to... I'm going to go this way, and I'm going to make this into two pieces. I'm actually going to cut this apart because it's going to help my brain to manage this. This is very crooked. I know. It's okay. No worries. Sometimes we do Tuesday 10. Sometimes we do extremely stressful crooked cutting for the audience of this video. You never can tell. This is all going to come out. You'll see. All your worry is for naught, I promise. Okay. This here. Then maybe that there. And I could use some of that Noil too, but let me see. I think I still have enough of this. And I do have another line of this awesome, these snaps. So last night I had a really nice time. I was sitting in my backyard, spinning yarn. It's the yarn that I'm spinning for my Studioloo club on my Patreon. So my lovely members, it will be hand spun yarns again this time around. Fun yarn. And I was chatting with my friend Mary Ellen over at Red Parrot, so that was nice. I was making some epic autocorrect mistakes as I was doing two things at once, so we do entertain one another. Accidentally called corporate people carpet people, and you know, it happens. Okay. A little bit of this pink linen maybe up here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to the sewing machine and I'm going to add some stitching on this a little bit randomly, and then I'll come back. So these are stitched around now. I'm going to just trim off the excess fabric from the edges. Okay. Oops. So many threads. I had to change my bobbin, of course, because that always happens to me. Just going to straighten this side out a little bit there. There we go. Do the same here. Okay, so now we have those. So I'm going to get my grunge box. Which is falling apart. I really need to like get a new one. Just want to spray a little coffee on them. There's a bit of this copper under here. I don't know. That might be kind of cool. Grungy. It's the joy of the grunge box, right? Is you can pick up leftovers. This is a really beautiful copper wax, actually. Oh yay, that was like a fun no-brainer. Okay. Get rid of grunge box. Then, let's dry these a little bit. I'll just take some old book page here, wipe the excess off. Okay, good, good. Oh, look at this beautiful lamb book plate. Oh, that's gorgeous. See, this is how things go into my Tuesday 10, her too, because I come across beautiful book pages like this, and these go into the Tuesday 10 bin. So, you know, whatever progress we're making today, it's getting slowly undone. But that's okay. It's an ecosystem, right? We have to feed it. Okay, so what I was thinking about is I have some book pages here. I was thinking it might be nice to glue a bit of book page down as collage. And then I have the funniest things. So these are little dolls. They're called Weathered Tea Dolls, and they're like, they're from Banana Fana Designs on Etsy. So this is Cece, and she's a new shop, and the weirdest thing happened. So I was looking for something to add to the ephemera when I was making the Your Creative Studios video from the last video that I made, the art themed box, and I wanted to like I needed quick kind of focal points. So I had some filters on regionally for like, you know, regional shops, because I do that sometimes. I'll set certain filters and I'll find different shops, you know, because algorithms typically will send you the same kind of stuff over and over. So regionally, it sent me Canadian shops, and this one came up that was brand new, Banana Fana Designs. They had like 2 things in their shop. I downloaded, like I ordered just the one thing, those Emmeline dolls that I used in that video. And then later on when I went to try to like leave a review, the shop was gone. And I'm like, huh. So I ended up like, you know, just kind of waiting around, because like it puts the shop, like you can't really do anything when a shop is gone like that. Like I couldn't leave a review, I couldn't reach out. So then all of a sudden it was back like maybe a week later. So I reached out to the owner, Cece, and I said, hey, like I just want to let you know, like I liked your dolls, I see your shop is new. I tried to leave a review and I'm having trouble doing so now, because like it was like the shop was completely gone and I can't leave a review, but I wanted to let you know that I enjoyed working with your dolls. Here's my video link. So basically she told me like, oh my gosh, thank you for like trying to support me. I've had a very frustrating week with Etsy. Apparently she launched her shop, added like 2 listings, and then later that day they like suspended her shop, and they didn't give her any reason why. They didn't send her an email even. It was just gone. And she was like, what? So she filed an appeal. She didn't hear back until a week later, and they still didn't even tell her anything. All of a sudden her shop was just back, and then a few days after that she got an email saying that they had accidentally suspended her shop, that she hadn't done anything wrong, but that sometimes like shops get caught up in this weird Etsy thing. And I'm like, okay. She's like, yeah, it's kind of demoralizing because like, you know, when you, a day you choose to launch something, and, you know, you put it out there to like, you know, she doesn't have a lot of social media. And so she was just putting it out to her family and things like that. You know, she's just kind of getting started, like a soft opening, right? And for that to happen, it was like so crappy. So I felt bad for her. And so she sent me these dolls as like a, you know, a thank you for trying to help me kind of thing. So yeah, check her out. She's added a few more things. I think she's going to be a really fun shop to follow. I haven't talked to her much beyond that, but yeah, it was something I could definitely commiserate with. I've had similar situations where you kind of just get, you know, shafted for no reason. Just gonna tear at a couple of these. And because they're called weathered tea dolls, I want to make them weathered. Okay, so I think I would put a couple of those on here. I first want to ink around them, including this little spot that I gotta tear. So cute. Okay. Yeah, so I think that can go here. And then I am like not a traditional word user, so this is going to be challenging for me. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. All right, I'm going to move this stuff over here so I can dig into my word bin, which I need to pull over. Find my glue. This is going to be challenging. I need to find... I should like to rise and go where the golden apples grow. I like that, actually. Can I find one more that I could use on the other one? I've been throwing a lot of like whole entire poems in my word box, which is not helping me. Oh, this could be nice. This is like a herb references. Let's do that. Okay, let's put all this back. Come back to me. There we go. Okay. Now 3-in-1. I just refilled this bottle, so hopefully it doesn't take forever. There we go. I got my kids like these water sprayers, and they're supposed to arrive today, which is great because it's so hot. And I don't feel like going to like the pool or anything. think if it cools down, I'm probably going to sit outside again tonight and spin yarn. And I need to card some bats, which if you're not a fiber person, you're like, what are you talking about? It's basically combing a bunch of wools together to create a nice color blend. Because I need another set of bats for another yarn I need to spin. Actually, I need 2 sets of bats. Okay. So set this aside to just dry a little, and I'll work on the other one, and then I'll back both of them. Now I want to tear this little goose off the top here. So this is rosemary green and lavender blue, thyme and sweet marjoram, hyssop and rue. That's quite nice. So I think I will put that here. I have to get caught up on YouTube videos. I've missed a few videos. I've gotten myself a little bit caught up in something that I don't normally pay a lot of attention to, but this has caught my attention. So I don't know. I don't watch family YouTube. I have very strong opinions about people using their children on the internet for any kind of financial gain. It's just not something I agree with. And so there's been a lot of talk lately on YouTube about this woman who used to have a YouTube channel called 8 Passengers. And I don't know if I'm just not the ilk of parent that likes watching family, like family channels. Like, who, I don't know. Let me know if you like that kind of thing. And like, I'm not going to judge you. It's just not my thing. You know that. I love you. So, but tell me what you like about that kind of content. I'm curious. And also, especially if you were a viewer of 8 Passengers, I'd really like to know, because I have been traumatized by what I've seen so far. I had heard about this story like a while ago, and I'm going to say right now that all of these things are alleged. I'm not directly involved in the investigation. Obviously, I don't know all the details, but I do know that this was a woman who had 6 children, and she had a YouTube channel that had around 2 million viewers, or subscribers rather, and maybe I'll just put one of them on there. And she basically like had a very militant parenting style, and I would say that militant doesn't even describe it. Like, the 2 things that I can think of that I've seen in the past were, like, she had a teenage son, and he had played a prank on one of his younger brothers and done a couple of other, like, I think it was basically three pranks that he did to his little brother. I wouldn't call any of them terribly harmful, as I heard them described by them. And so they took away his bedroom, and they took away his bed. So he slept on like a beanbag for 7 months, and then they sent him away to one of those horrible wilderness camps that, like, you know, awful people like Dr. Phil or have allegedly been involved with. And unfortunately, it's been reported that harm has come to children in those situations. So she, I guess a few years ago now, like, or a couple of years ago, like, her channel was deleted. I don't know if YouTube canceled it or if there was a different circumstance. And so her husband had his own channel, and then she paired up with this woman who was a former Utah, of course, psychologist, like a family practicing psychologist, I guess. And the 2 of them started their own channel that was like giving out like parenting advice, like how to be, you know, basically like hardcore, how to teach your kids to be reliant and, you know, not, you know, bratty or something. I don't know. I never watch that kind of thing. I will never watch that kind of thing. I am not a believer in that kind of parenting. I'm a believer in gentle parenting, and that's never going to change. So, these two women were arrested this week for child abuse and child endangerment, and I believe there are some other charges that specify around the use of the word assault. So the story, as I've seen it explained by several other YouTubers who have followed it, as well as on the news, is that one of Ruby Frank's children, that is the 8 passengers woman, like crawled out of the bedroom window of the other woman's house, went to a neighbor's for help, was found emaciated, starving, asking for food and water. And like, then I guess further investigation found another child, a minor, also in the same condition. And these two women have been arrested. And as of yesterday, a video that I watched that linked to like the local police, the sheriff's office or whatever, they had not had a bailout. I don't know if bail was set for them or, you know, they didn't pay it, what have you, but it's all very disturbing. It's all very, very disturbing. And somebody, you know, like, I don't usually watch that kind of content, but I do watch a few different commentary channels, some of which are comedy and some are, you know, kind of current events. And I started seeing this and I was like, oh my goodness, because, you know, it's one of those sad things where, oopsies, I think a lot of people knew about this and tried to get help, but they weren't listened to. And I know that like one of the daughters, one of the more like grown-up daughters, I think she's probably gone away to school or something, she posted, you know, saying like, thank goodness this has finally happened. We've been trying to get help for years. No one listened to us. You know, the kids are safe, but we're asking for privacy. And then I guess even Ruby Frank's sisters have spoken up kind of. And so there's a lot of question around, you know, why did this take so long? And I heard there was this one person who was, I guess, he's like I think a former homicide detective, and he was being questioned about like how do things like this happen. So, you know, he obviously first raised the fact that, you know, Utah is a special place as it relates to culture. I say it that way for a reason. And yeah, like there's a lot of religious, like, you know, let's not interfere. This is their culture. This is their religion, whatever. And so things like this happen more frequently there, as well as things like MLMs, like different things that can take advantage of people, right? So yeah, that was one of his comments. The other one was that these things don't happen in a silo and they don't happen right away. So it starts out as militant parenting and then it goes a step further. And then the next thing you know, that like the child is being, you know, abused in a way like this children allegedly have been. So I know there was mention of duct tape, ligatures, those kind of things. Like it is a story. I won't go on about it. This is clearly not the channel for that kind of discussion, but like if you want to look into it, feel free. It's pretty disturbing. So we got those two done. I will stitch around them, but I'm going to set them aside. I think they're so cute. So now let's go over to my next things. Where did they go? Well, I got the fabric here. Maybe we'll take a break from fabric and we'll move on to something a little different. So these aren't actually part of this. I'll set those aside. But I do have this. And this is kind of the one thing that's like a little different than everything else. So I need to decide what to do with it. I like all these pictures. It would make a fun waterfall card. That could be cool. But I also feel like I forget how to make a waterfall card right now. I always have to look at my instructions, like my video, on how to do that. It's actually not difficult. It's just like 4 flaps and a pulley kind of thing. But I think I want to do something different with this. What do I want to do? let's take a couple of book pages. And we will washi tape them together. Okay, now I'm going to cut off this edge that has these quotes. So yeah, that's why I'm behind on watching my regular artsy YouTube videos, because I've been kind of caught up in the whole coverage of this really sad situation. You know, I feel like as someone who operates on this platform and is also a parent, like I don't consider it's like there's this documentarist on YouTube, and her channel's called Swoop. And she's been doing a lot of coverage of the disturbing, like, Colleen Ballinger story that's come out. For those of you unaware, she used to have a show called Miranda Sings, and before that she was or her show was called like Haters Go Away or something. It was on Netflix. It had like 2 seasons, but her show, her live show and her YouTube channel was called like Miranda Sings. So she also is embroiled in some pretty scary scandal. Like, she's been up to some pretty bad stuff allegedly as well. So Swoop is a documentarist who's been covering that story, and she has this saying that says, "It's not drama, it's dangerous." And that really, I thought, was quite pertinent to how I feel about this whole situation. It's like, I remember a couple of years ago, before I was like had my own YouTube, I was watching a lot of a really lovely channel called Nerdy Crafter, and she's a lot of fun. And, you know, she was the first to kind of give me a heads up about what was going on, but I kind of heard it from a few places. And YouTube had made a bit of a decision about, like, how children view YouTube, and how, you know, what the experience for them should be on the platform. So for those of you not aware, there is another, there's YouTube Kids, and then there's YouTube. I don't think most kids watch YouTube Kids, and also I've heard that, like, it's been problematic for having content that doesn't only belong on YouTube Kids, but it shouldn't even be on YouTube, and that kids have seen it, and that it's, you know, really weird and not good. So I haven't actually ever allowed my kids to watch YouTube Kids. They instead get to watch regular YouTube with me and my husband. They don't get to just have a free-for-all of what they're watching, because that is not a great idea with little kids. So that being said, YouTube had come to this kind of rule where they were trying to, like, enforce that creators couldn't, like, be monetized or like, you know, have partnerships to try to make sponsorship, like money or anything like that, if their videos were watched by kids. So for a lot of crafters and a lot of women on the platform, this was immediately very problematic, because, like, you know, they don't get the choice to say, yeah, kids can watch this or not. It's just that because their genre is in the craft genre, that they would be losing, or like, it could even be things like you know, a lot of people do their art with toys and things like squishmallows or whatever, like squishy painting. Like there's another girl, I forget her YouTube channel right now, but she's big. I don't even need to mention her. A lot of people probably know who I'm talking about. But she kind of will take squishies and like repaint them and kind of restore them. And she's really funny. And so people like that were the ones being affected. And it's like, a lot of YouTubers were thinking like, maybe I will not be able to create here anymore because like I'm not going to be able to monetize anything for the fear that kids will be watching, and then I'll be accused of like advertising products to children. So like it became this really weird thing, and I don't know how it ever, you know, petered out, except I think what maybe happened is, like when we upload a video on YouTube, you have to check, you know, several boxes, like, is this intended for children or not? And I think that's kind of how YouTube covered themselves. Like, I don't know why they introduced this. Maybe it was from a lawsuit of some kind, you know, because the whole thing is that you shouldn't advertise to children that are on the platform, right? Because, you know, they can't consent to being advertised to. Although I don't know how that differs from commercials on regular network TV, but it's funny, like we don't have cable in my house or any kind of satellite or anything, and I pay for YouTube Premium, so I don't watch commercials really. So we don't get a lot of commercials because we stream everything. So when we visit my in-laws, they have cable, and it's like my kids, it's funny how they react to seeing commercials. Like they kind of really dislike them because it's like an interruption in their show. You know, they're so young, they have no idea what we went through as kids. Watch like 4 minutes of TV and then 5 minutes of commercials or something. Let me see. I'm just looking at these quotes. Oh, no. The stoical scheme of supplying our wants by lopping off our desires is like cutting off our feet when we want shoes. Whatever is worth doing at all is worth doing well. Indulge not in vain regrets for the past, in vainer resolves for the future. Act in the present. None of those really appeal to me. Oh, I like that. R.L. Stevenson. Quiet minds cannot be perplexed or frightened, but go on in fortune or misfortune at their own private pace, like a clock during a thunderstorm. How cool. Okay. Let's use that one. Put that here. So we're making almost like a little folio with pockets on the front. Then, I think what I might do is just give it a press again. And I could turn it into a tag maybe, or I could turn it into round corners. I think I'll do rounded corners on this one. Oops, wrong side. I think this video is going to be long today. Oh my gosh. I'm not going to make things for the pockets. It would take way too long. We'd never get out of here. Cut into the edges of this paper. That's fun. Okay. Good. Set that over here. Now, think that the fabric is going to take up a ton of time. It's not good. I might have bitten off more than I can chew, folks, with the fabric. Get my papers here. Let's try to use the papers first, and then we'll think about if we can do more fabric. This might be a slightly modified version of Tuesday 10, and that happens sometimes. Mainly because I just don't think you want to sit here for like 3 hours with me. That feels like mean. Okay, so I love this. What do I want to use as like a focal point? I've got a few things over here that I pulled. One of my Journal Together kits maybe is over here. Oh, maybe I'll use her. I really love her. It's one of my dolls. So maybe I'll cut her out and she can be my centerpiece. Although I know I have, I don't know if I use them already. I have like some more, I painted these more leafy kind of dolls. I don't know if they were in here though. I've got one with lemons. And if these kits interest you, if these images interest you rather, these are from what I call my Journal Together Club. It is for all levels of my Patreon. And it comes out on the 1st of the month every month, and it's usually around 15 pages or a little bit more. And it's eclectic. It is things that I have designed, painted, collected, etc. And I just put together kind of a little eclectic kit for you to use. And yeah, we have fun with these kits, I think. I could even make 2 pieces with this, maybe. Both of these girls. Let's cut out our lemon girl here first. And this is from, I think, yeah, this was July's kit. I just put out the September kit. I should make a video showing you the September kit. I may do that. Okay. So we could use her there. Alright. Yeah, let's make this into 2 pieces. First I thought I would really like a centered kind of piece like that. Oh, I do like that. You know, I could make her into like a fairy. This is what I do. Ah, that's stressing me out. Hold on. So there's one thing in this studio that is not hard to come by, and that's paper. So I have another jelly print that I could use this. Oh, and that's got really nice color on it. Yum. Let's just do this a different way, because I want to make her into like a cool fairy type person here. So we can center her there and right about there. That would be good. And then, you know, I'm thinking about like a middle folio in a journal. Okay, I like that. And like I could also choose to get rid of the top and the bottom and just give her the sides, but I think I'm going to keep it whole like that for now. And I'm going to glue backing on it. Yeah, so I think I will abandon the little pieces of fabric now that I'm thinking, because we still have that piece of fabric that we started with that's over there drying right now. I think I know what I want to do with it, but yeah, I don't want to also then have to go back and play with that other stuff. So what I might do, instead of using one of these pieces of paper, I'm going to use the other jelly print that I took out of the Tuesday 10 bin as one of those, and I'll put one back. And I think I know which one it's going to be. And if you know me, you probably know too, because it's challenging me. And that would be this sticker sheet. So we're going to use this jelly print instead. Cheater, cheater, pumpkin eater. Okay. So a little ink. Yeah. Then I think I will stitch around this also, so it can go in the stitching pile. So now we have this, okay. What I might do, I might actually use this side because it's got a little tear there, and then it'll be a good use of this piece of paper. Oh, it's a very delicate piece of paper too. Okay, so I need to get a base for it. Yes, I think I'm going to do another fall fair next weekend. I downloaded the Ontario Fair schedule, and I just kind of checked off the ones that are in decent distance to us. And I'll probably do another one next weekend. I had this silly idea in my head that I would do 2 this weekend, that I would also try to go to Orangeville, because the Orangeville one is really nice, but I was really beat after the day in Paris, and like the thing about it is like it's really hot, so we went on Friday and we ended up going for a while and then leaving and coming back, and it was so nice in the evening after things had cooled down, but I'm just not good in the heat. I'm too Irish for all that. So my husband, who is has a lot more melanin in his skin than me, he was like, okay, yeah. I mean, he's always very great about understanding my boundaries with the heat, even though he doesn't have them himself, and getting me out of those situations. So he's like, yeah, let's just go and we'll come back. And then my daughter, like all day, she was like, when are we going back to the fair? When are we going? She's driving me crazy. Love her, but yeah, she's at that age where patience is not yet one of her virtues. That's okay, because she's cute. So we took them to the mall for a little bit, and that was nice. Okay, I think this will be a tag. I haven't done a lot of tags this time around. Okay, here we go. That will go there. Now, the next thing I have is this. And what I was thinking, and I saw this, is this would be nice inside of here. Kind of, we freeform tear the edge. go there. There. Yeah, that would be nice. So let's get the glue. Plunk that in there. And then I need a focal point, which I can probably find again in my kit here. Something good. I like her. Let's go with her. A little bit of fussy cutting today. So for those of you who haven't been here long, Tuesday 10 is kind of my long form, specifically longer form video that I do, usually each week, where I get to just sort of chit chat, relax, and work away on things. Mistakes are allowed to happen. The ephemera is usually really just eclectic to go into my ephemera box that I use a lot for things like commonplace journals or sending ephemera to my Patreon friends and stuff like that. And then when it fits the theme, it goes into journals. And it's like a little bonus moment that I have like something done already for the journal. It also allows me to make, I think, nice ephemera, like that is, I'm taking special time to do just that, you know? It's like a focused time. Just gonna grunge this up because that white is so white. That's better. Then we will glue the back here. Oops. My glue stick is getting empty. Yep. Let's just try to use this last little bit of glue. And then I'm going to follow the freeform shape of the paper on this and cut it into like a freeform shaped journal card. Yeah, that's fun. Okay, so now we're left with this, and I think that's actually going to become a bit of collage fodder for the fabric we have waiting in the wings. So let's just tear it up here into these 3 panels that I might use in that project. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go get that fabric that we started. I'm going to get some more glue, and I will come back and we'll finish up. Okay, so this yummy is all dry now, and I'm going to, I love how the ombre turned out. I'm really happy. I also love the texture. This is like really nice. It's got a really good texture. So what I'm going to do is kind of, not blindly, but semi-blindly cut this up. So I might try with my guillotine, to be honest. Oh, the things I do. Let me see. Will this work? I'll just try this little edge here. It's kind of... it'll probably be problematic. I don't know if it'll be different when it's cutting the painted fabric. Let me see. Oh no, that actually cuts way better. Okay. Okay, so, but it's kind of too, oh, it's too big. Okay. Ixnay that idea. Let's just cut this with scissors. Just cut a straight edge here on one side. Okay. And then we have this. This would be kind of a nice little scrap to keep, but I won't. I'm going to pass it on to the the cleaning fairy. All right, and we're going to cut this, I think, this way. I'm just going to cut this into like shapes for making ephemera. So those will be like journal cards. And I think I want the rest to be kind of tag sized. So what I'm going to do, I think, is just take a pencil and start by creating a straight line here. Then tags I would want to be about this tall. This is just going to give me a guide for how to cut. And then the next one, I think I'll do the same thing. Then over here, 1, 2. Let me measure. I'm going to go a little longer. Okay, 3. We'll bring this down to here. Then this one's got to come in a little bit more because I don't have as much fabric over there. So we'll say here, here, okay. So now I've got a bit of a grid. So let's cut the first panel here. I'm going to be adding more backing on the back of this, so don't worry about the pencil lines and the stitches and all that. It's not going to matter. I added this packaging simply to give myself like a nice basis to glue my fabric to before I painted it. Okay. I'll just clean this up a little. Decide what I want to do with that. Okay, so now these are all cut. Good. Okay, get rid of any scraps that aren't going to be useful here. Now, let's start with these three. And I need to still trim the top of this because that was kind of the edge that wasn't straight. So that's good. Okay. So now I think what I'd like to do is go ahead and try using these helpers that I that I cut out. So I want a slightly, I think, less interesting or gradient one. So these plain pinks, and I can add this here, and I think she will go really nicely there. Yeah, I like that. So that will be one. So maybe I'll collage them with you here, and then I'll do the gluing on my own so you don't have to like watch every part of this and be bored. This is a little wide, so I think I'll take this off. Add that there, and maybe her. Good, good. Where did I put the other? Did I drop that other little scrap? I lost my other William Morris piece. I don't see you. Okay. It's okay. We'll survive without it. Okay. I could use this little strip maybe. And we could use one of the panels like that. Okay, so that's those three. And this, I would like to use this lovely one. And I do have these little frames. I'm wondering, would that be cute? Let me see if I can find one. Maybe not because she has the umbrella, but maybe behind. Maybe not behind there, but behind a little lower. I kind of like that actually. Yeah. I need, what do I need? What do I want to use now? I have this, I have a tear sheet here that I want to use for one of these projects. So this is good, this is good. I think, let's see, this with this. And I need something in that kind of tone of color. It's not quite that, it's a little more peachy. What about that fabric? Oh, that's really nice. I have more of that fabric around. I'm gonna grab it actually, it's right behind me. So it's this this iridescent fabric. It's silk organza. So, sorry, my chair keeps getting stuck. I have to find a way to keep this mat that I'm rolling around on all the time seated on my carpet. My eventual plan down here is to pour a resin floor, but I don't know when I'll get around to doing that, to be honest, because I have to take everything out of the room, and that thought makes me probably want to cry. It's gonna be a lot of work. So yeah, no thank you. Will this one fit on this card, or is it too short? Oh no, it will fit. It's just maybe not exactly what I want. Let's cut this a little thinner. Let's see, how does she fit on there without that? I mean, sort of, kind of. Not as good as I'd like. Let's do it on this one. Oh, I love how that looks on there. It's so nice. And it's purpley with this purpley, so that looks great. Okay. And I have one girl left, and I have these two pieces here. So I'm thinking, well, she actually fits pretty good on that one. Let's do that and do that. Do we want to go with a frame, or I also have some of these fun labels that I recently made. And that could be nice. We could do one that's a little more collage-y with labels. That, and let's do green. No, not quite. Just trying to get an idea if those would be useful anywhere else. I don't think I want to put labels on there. I might put one of these on there though. That would be fun. Okay, so I think I'll save this piece just for like scrap, and I think I'll go ahead, what I'll do is I will stitch on the fabric to all of these that I've added fabric to, okay? So I'm going to stitch this and this, and then I'll go ahead and I will glue these down and back them. I might, I'm going to maybe add some of this on the top of these, like to make them into tags. I'm going to cut these into tag shapes as I usually do, and then I'll stitch around them. So when I come back, I'll have everything here done and you can see everything that we made today. So I will be right back. Okay, we are finally done. I made 13 things today, so let's take a look. I love how these turned out. So I backed them with folder, and I just love the ombre. I love the texture. I love the organza on top. Like, I don't know if you can see how cool this color is, but yeah, it's great. And I like how my little designed dolls here turned out on these. If these dolls are something you may be interested in, just let me know and I can post them. I wasn't sure. I just kind of made them for a work project, and I was like just playing around with them. And then we have our little folder here with these pockets. So each of these are pockets. And I added some eco-printed fabric. So that's a fun little folio that I could put some tickets or something in. That would be nice. And our little lemon girl. And that fun vintage Reader's Digest journal card. This girl, of course, love her. And then these two. So these were from Banana Fana Designs on Etsy. It's Banana, F-A-N-N-A Designs on Etsy. Check her out because she's got some cute designs. She's a brand new shop, just a few lovely digitals in her shop. But I wanted to promote her because of the strange Etsy circumstances. So that being said, thank you for hanging out with me for what I think is probably a pretty long Tuesday 10. I have no idea. I did not time this video. Anyways, thanks, and I'll talk to you again very soon. Bye for now.